Hi there, welcome to your practice. And this one we're going to work with the basics around twists and forward bends. And we're going to start with 2 blocks on the highest height. I'm going to turn there in just a moment, but you can have yours right in front of you. Just a little gentle bend in the knees. Feeling into the feet, maybe even lifting up all your toes to press down under the ball of the big toe, pinky toe center of the heel. Setting the toes down. And then from there, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the arms down. So just really working with the connection here between the grounding of the feet and the reach of the arms. Syncing up with your breath. Let's do one more. And now we're going to add on, this is when I'm going to just turn to the side so you can see a little better. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, this time bend the knees more, fold forward, hands to the blocks. Now head is releasing, legs are working towards straight. And I'd like you to just observe how this feels in your body. How is the neck able to release or not? How's the back of the legs, the belly? The neck in the sense of, is the chest coming forward to create any like strangulation, suffocation feeling, which obviously we do not want. And noticing what it's like to have the hands on the highest height. Then we're going to bend the knees. On an inhale, slowly come up. Exhale, arms by the sides. Okay, so now we're going to add on some different options here. So the first one is just to step the feet a little bit wider. Bend the knee, little bend in the knees. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. We're looking to create space in ways that make sense for your body. Head's releasing down. Again, checking in to observe. If you notice you naturally have bend in your elbows here, that might tell you could play with dialing your blocks down. And then just see, oh, what happens? Back of legs, belly, neck. Press through the feet. Come on up. Let's do another little experiment here. So we're going to bring hands to the belly. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, hands to the belly. You're going to just kind of hold the belly up a little bit. Fold forward. Release the hands. Come to the blocks. Again, observe. What has shifted or changed or not? Maybe you found a little more space. Now you bring hands to blocks on the lowest setting. Sometimes you try that and you're like, oh, I regret it. You come back to where you were, like I just did. Press through the feet. Come on up. Last thing we're going to try here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, if you want to move the belly again, bring hands to the belly. Lift as you fold. This time we're going to come halfway up. While you're up, lightly tuck the chin to the chest. And then release the head down again. And just notice how this is for the back of your neck. Your face has likely gotten closer to your chest. But can your neck release more? And what feels better for your body? Press through the feet. Come on up. Arms by the sides. None of these options is inherently better than another. We're going to come down to seated now. You can use your blocks for support if you like. It's really, how does this work in my body in this moment? Because, surprise, surprise, it might be different likely will be over time, whether that's over the course of one practice or a week, a month, a year, 10 years. Things definitely change. So we're going to extend the legs now in front of us, feet flexed. So I'm sitting up on a blanket. I recommend that you do as well. And you can fold it up as much as you want to make it tall. You can have a few stacked. You want to find that height that works for you. You can take one hand under one hip, move the skin out and back. Same thing other side. It's nice to have the sitting bones on the blanket. And then it just invites the pelvis to tip just a little bit, which helps to kind of begin the movement. So you're not having to come into a forward bend from tipping back, for example. You're going to have to come further. Okay, so we're going to do a similar experiment, and now from seated. So you can bring your blocks on either side of your legs. And we're going to inhale, arms up. Let's just lift the arms up, get a little more space. Exhale, fold forward. Okay, so hands are not reaching. They're just kind of coming along, and they land. They can land on the legs. They can land on the blocks. Here again, step one is observe. How far forward are you able to come? How does it feel in your body? How compressed does your belly feel if it does? And then we come on up. Okay, so now we're going to try some different experiments. So bring the hands to the belly, and we're going to just tuck the belly down towards the pelvis. And I just kind of wedge it in however much is available. And now we're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. And again, just notice how this lands in your body. So for me, I was able to come a little bit more forward. Feels like my spine can lengthen a little more because my belly feels less compressed. And what I am narrating in my own body, of course, may or may not resonate in any way with what you're feeling in yours. When you're ready, we'll come on out. Now release the belly. So just kind of untuck it for a minute. I like to just give a little shimmy. And now we're going to bring hands to the belly and lift it up. So inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the belly, just hold it a little bit, fold forward. And then once you're forward, you can release the hands. Noticing how this feels in your body. For me, I can again come forward more. My belly feels more in front of me. It feels like my hip crease can close a little more. So where the hip meets the leg has more space. And we come up and out. So whatever you're noticing, you can bring that information into other parts of your practice, of course. So from now, we're going to bring the right leg in, and we want this leg to stay upright. So if it's kind of bowing out, then step it wider. Bring the hand to the belly, move it to the center. So you can just support the leg too. And we're going to inhale, take the left arm up. Exhale, it comes to the leg, right hand comes behind you. Now, if the arm feels a little stuck on the chest, pick up the right hand, just tuck the chest and or the skin of the arm kind of under. It's the motion that I'm making. And return to the twist. And we'll come back to center. And switch sides. So drawing in this leg, move the belly to the middle. And we're going to inhale, right arm up. Exhale, twist. Checking in here, perhaps moving the skin of the chest or the arm. And do your own experiments too. So if I suggest a tuck down and you try it and you're like, and then you try a tuck up and it works, great. We can lay out signposts for each other, and then you see how it helps you navigate to what works best for you. Okay, so now we're going to try a little bit different twist. So left leg is going to come in front of you. Shin is roughly parallel with the top of the mat. Right leg is either going to extend or tuck beside you. So this is what we would call a more open twist. The belly has more space to move. And we're going to inhale here, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. Right hand can come to the left leg, maybe around the knee. Left hand's behind you. Now, if your arm, the length of your arm doesn't allow your hand to come down flat, mine definitely doesn't, you can be up on your fingertips or grab a block to just make your arm longer. It can be on any height. You might also like to move the belly to the middle. Take another breath here. And come back to center. Let's just bring the legs for a moment together, extended, give them a little wobble, and then we'll switch sides. So right leg in front, left leg extends or tucks beside you. Let's move the belly the first time on this side. Maybe just get your block here in case you want it. We'll inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. It's like, I don't know, getting dressed in the morning or something where you're like, I'm going to take a little of this and a little of that. And nope, not that today. And that's our approach here. And we'll come on back to center. And we're going to take the legs wide now. So with the legs wide, let's bring the blocks in front. We're going to work with another forward bend here. And sort of similar to the twists where we had twists that were a little bit closer in and twists where we had a little bit more space, and we just notice the differences. The same thing is true with our forward bend. So when we were doing our standing forward bend, one of the first options was just to take the feet a little bit wider. So we're looking for where do we want to create space and how do we do that? And now we're going to work with a little bit of a wider seated forward bend from the first one that we did with the legs together parallel. So let's inhale here. Exhale, fold. And as you fold, if you notice, oh, my belly would like to move a little bit, then come up just for a moment. Move it to the middle. And then continue forward. So hands can be on the blocks at any height. Keeping the spine long until you get to a place that feels good for you. Then you support yourself with blocks. We're not letting the blocks or a particular destination be the boss of us. We're letting the body speak. And what's interesting is sometimes we think we know, okay, I think this is going to work. I've been listening. And then as you stay there for a breath or two, you're like, that's kind of what's happening to me right now in the back of my left leg. I could stay here, but I'm feeling a twinge, and a twinge around my knee is not really something that I need. So I'm just going to slide my blocks in a bit and then come down. And that has shifted the twinge out of my knee. And I can stay. Gently now you can release the chin, let the back round. And what happens in this conversation is, like I said, if I could have stayed with that twinge, but some part of me would be gripping around it. Is like, this isn't right. Maybe I'm holding my breath a little, muscles are tightening. And that's positive. That's the body saying, okay, well, she might be heading towards an injury, so let's help out. But when we're looking to have a different relationship, we come back a little bit, find what works, where we're not holding through pain or through tightening. Then the body can say, like, okay, we can trust the situation. We can start to lengthen. And then maybe you find a little more space, as I have, to just come forward a bit more. So now I have actually ended up where I initially started, but I've done it in a more sustainable way. And that's always the path that we're looking for. Because practicing in a sustainable way in this moment means that you can continue to practice longer over time. Let's take one more breath here. We're just going to slowly come on up. You can keep the legs wide if that's comfortable for you, or bring them into another position if you would prefer. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. Eyes closed or just softly focused, maybe towards the front of the mat. Inviting in this continued conversation of space and what you need in the moment. Trying one thing, letting another thing go, into your off the mat life from here. When you're ready, you can join me in folding your hands together in front of your heart. We'll take them up to the forehead. May I think of myself with kindness. To the eyes, may I see myself with compassion. To the mouth, may I speak to myself with love. And to the heart, to seal it in, we'll inhale and exhale. Thank you for practicing with me.